Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back. I just thought I'd give you guys a bit of my thoughts and reactions to the new Attack on Titan pages that came out for the last chapter. We got a good 8 or so pages here that help add a little bit more context to the ending, and I thought that since my last video got the most views ever, make another one that just told you guys how I felt about this. So yeah, let's get into it. Um, Starts off, um, back in the middle of the fight, where Armin basically is like addressing the soldiers, and we get Mikasa holding Eren's head, and she basically starts to walk back, and Ymir shows up this time, and she gets kind of back into a little bit of a conversation, saying something along the lines of like, "Oh, it was you, you were the one peeking into my head all this time, and you can't get back what you lost. Thank you, yada yada." Basically, doubling down on the already established Mikasa was the plot thing. So yeah, didn't really care for this, to be honest. Didn't really change anything about my opinion. It was just kind of just like, yeah, that would probably I think on the read it would make it seem like less like out of nowhere, but not really. But for the juice, you know. So the next panel we have Mikasa showing up at the grave, at Eren's grave, right? Oh no, but she has her husband and child, right? It's just a picture from her from behind, but we got the husband and child. Oh god. So like the whole part in chapter 139 where Eren breaks down over Mikasa was like a huge kick in the nuts for any Eren fan, right? And we also got the line of, Armin rubbing it in, saying, maybe she'll end up with a great man or something. Bro, it looks like John. Like, be real. It looks like John. And, like, even if it's not, your options are it's John or it's some random dude. Dude, I thought that the people that shipped Eren and Mikasa were the only ones left who liked this show. Like, how how did he do this to them, bro? That was dirty. But yeah, so Mikasa just, she moved on. She has a kid, you know, pressing F to pay respects for Eren, and we get, some closure there. We get to she lives her life, and I guess she dies normally. We get a little picture of her. It looks like surrounded by flowers with the little scarf. So I'm assuming that's her in like a little coffin. We're saying, she died peacefully, and then we get a little flash forward, and Paradise is just getting leveled by stealth bombers. Okay. Okay, the stealth bombers. Okay, so they're just nuking Paradise. So Paradise is donezo. Okay. So I just want to put it out there that I have seen some of the Isayama interviews, or at least read translated versions of them, and I'm aware he's a big fan of the movie The Mist. And if you haven't seen it already, I'd recommend watching it just once. You'll have a lot more of an understanding of at least what he was going for, I think, of just the tragic ending type shit. But basically, it's the worst possible end for the main character, where everything he tries to do is in vain. It was a lot to digest as a reader. Um, so yeah, it took me a while to take this in. Basically, what it means is that Eren was correct, though. Like, no matter how you look at it, Eren tried to wipe out everyone. The Avengers stopped him, and as a result, Paradise just gets wiped out. And the reason they get wiped out is due to this cycle of hatred because they're sowing seeds of revenge. That was a really big piece to me. Um, and I like that they readdressed the cycle of hatred because to me, he really dropped that whole thing. Like, a big reason why it pissed me off was because like the cycle of hatred thing was like Gabby's whole reason for being, right? And Gabby killed one of my favorite characters. And then it turned out that the cycle didn't mean shit and they dropped it, so it's like one of my favorite characters died for no reason. So at least they brought it back up, right? So like the way the ending was before was like Armin shows up, he gives him the little talk no jutsu, and then everyone's good, right? Yeah, that makes no sense. Like obviously, if you have a nation left over named after the dude that just genocided 80% of the world, people will want to take revenge, and they do, which makes sense, right? Cycle of hatred. Good job. I liked it. I liked at least what he did with that because yeah, it was just dropping it off was like really weird to me. So yeah, this acknowledges that it was destined to happen again, and as long as people remained alive, uh, you know, that's like you just had to let Eren do his thing, but you know, letting him do his thing was kind of bad. So they were in a tough spot. I get it, but yeah, I just wanted to say that while it was in vain and it makes everything Eren did, what Eren did, like almost pointless, I like it. Like I actually just like it. Like I was like, okay, cool. So now we get a flash forward again, and we get Mikasa's kid who is now exploring the ruins of paradise, and he gets led to this giant tree again. And we've seen this tree before. It's the tree that Ymir stumbled into to discover the Titan powers. Now, one of the things I had an issue with was that the big worm alien that got introduced randomly also left just randomly. So everyone was like, you know, where the fuck did the worm go? Where's the worm at? So he's chilling in the tree, I'm guessing. You know, I'm guessing the story just starts over again, and we will have, because this is an obvious parallel to Ymir and then Mikasa's child, right? So now we have this, and yeah, it's just setting up for a season 2, right? Or a sequel. Yeah, I don't know. It's poetic to say the least, right? It's poetic to say the least. If this was all in the chapter at the very start, I would have had a much less volatile reaction to it, but not really. Yeah. All of this being said, it was definitely not enough to change my mind about the ending. Hell no, it was not. Like, while I do really like the themes of the story, and that with this they're no longer just axed or anything like that, um, I was looking for retcons in like the first half of the chapter. Not really looking for him to double down on anything else. You know, I don't really care about this shit, to be honest. Because at the end of the day, even if Eren was right and he still had to, or he still had that like complete character breakdown out of nowhere, where he like claims to do all this shit for Mikasa, and it was, and Mikasa was just the plot, and then like Ymir was also the plot, but it was just like out of nowhere. It's just like, yeah, I'm not feeling it, dude, and none of this really changes any of that. Um, so yeah, I don't know. uh, the story's great, but I don't know. I didn't really watch all this for the story. I just want to, you know, make note that like ever since like the basement reveal, like when I was watching this the first time and I got to the basement reveal, like you know how like Eren had that like big thing where he's like I was disappointed, dude. I was disappointed. I thought the basement reveal sucked ass. Like the fact that it was humans, like I was down for the like the people versus titans thing. That was cool and like the survival aspect. But as soon as it became humans, I was like, bro, I am not down. And I wanted to drop it, but I gave it a chance. And I was glad I gave it a chance because Eren turned into like the coolest fucking character. So at this point, you know, a series that like I'm already invested 90 chapters or so, and I just wanted to see, you know, how it would, you know, pan out, and then it turns out that, you know, all that interesting shit that Eren does was a prank. So yeah. At the end of the day, none of that really changed. So yeah. As far as the extra pages go, these have just been my thoughts on them. They're cool, you know. I'm glad that he did what he did a little bit. Obviously, he wasn't going to change the whole thing. I didn't think he would. But yeah, that's pretty much just what we're left with, right? So yeah, those are my thoughts on the new pages that got released. If you watched the whole video, I hope you leave with a thumbs up, sub, comment down below. Tell me how you felt about them, because I'm interested how you guys feel, right? Were these pages enough to change any of your guys' minds on the ending? That originally didn't like it, you know, like me. I don't. It wasn't enough for me, bro. I wouldn't. I've been seeing like a lot of like cope with like the ending and stuff, like new anime ending and stuff. I honestly think that for an ending to change and for me to end up liking it would have to like completely erase the whole thing with Eren, and that's not gonna happen, right? So, you know, is what it is. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.